in the industry and launching my own clothing line, traveling the world, discovering the power behind yoga and meditation and how it can heal the mind as well as the body. So tune in to my show, Just the Thought. Follow the story, like the page, subscribe. Let's write the rest of the story that you've always dreamed of. Peace and blessings, blessings and peace. It's the boy Jarmel Reese. See you soon.
Like it's easy to paint the picture, or maybe be like the pastor. Maybe just go to scripture. These demons, they be lurking.
Hey yo, what's up with it? Peace and blessings, y'all. Peace and blessings. We are back. This is another week of our community lives, you know what I mean? Where we get together with a bunch of people inside of the community, like we playing like musical squares or something, you know what I mean? With all these people, and everybody gets on the live. We play a video. We start talking about different objectives or different subjects for the day, right? And so today, this week, we are going to be doing self-reflection. And so self-reflection, some of the things that come to mind when I think about self-reflection, before you can even think about reflecting off on others, you have to learn how to be able to first deal with yourself. And one of the first things I had to be able to learn is that to stop objectively looking around and trying to be able to see a problem with everybody else, and start to have to look inside myself and be able to see the problems inside of myself, to be able to see why I even have a problem with this person. And so it starts with the inner work, you know what I mean? And so like we do every week, you know what I mean? We go around the room and everybody say who they are, brief introduction of who they are, what they do, and then we get started. So I'm gonna go off into my, my Jesna. You go ahead and go.
Hi, y'all.
What's
I'm
up?
Mike Jesna. I am a personal coach because I handle multiple things. So I'm a sexologist. So I help with like the sex talks, people's relationships, things like that in that field. I also assist with e-commerce. So I help build online stores as well as help people build their podcasts.
Absolutely. And go ahead next, Lynn.
Under the weather a little bit, but blessings to see all of you guys and hear you, and just keep it coming, keep it coming.
Most definitely. LaFair.
Yeah, I'm Mr. Smith, chef, extreme chef extraordinaire. They're trying to get a better understanding about how people think and mind formation. Better understanding and mind formation. Things you've been taught and things you know that's good. Let's figure this out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So since we all done grew up, let's see what all we grew up out of.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. Next.
Hi, my name is Shireen. I am a yoga instructor and a wellness coach. I help individuals dealing with mental and emotional issues. I'm also a senior tax consultant. Um, I believe there's no wealth without health. So if you need your taxes, business taxes created, done, I do that.
Absolutely. Next.
Hello, everyone. Blessings. My name is Sonia Miller, but I go by Sunny. I am a PR media specialist that specializes in bookings, red carpet interviews, podcasts, film, anything that's pertaining to media. That's me. And then also, I'm also a master astrologist and tarot card reading. So if anyone needs a reading from me as well, you can actually hit me up personally.
All right. And next.
Yo, what's the word, everybody? I'm Shandon. Um, Currently, I'm an intervention specialist, so I work with young men with social emotional learning skills and behaviors and trauma as well. So, more in the therapeutic background.
Most definitely, most definitely. And next. All right, if y'all, you know what I'm saying, all right, check this out. appreciate y'all being here this week for real, because I know y'all could be doing anything. And then also to the people who are looking on Facebook and looking on YouTube, want to say what's up to y'all too, man. We appreciate y'all time always too. You know what I'm saying? So everybody say what's up to everybody on YouTube, Facebook, and all that good stuff too. You know what I mean? So if you miss what it is, this week's subject we'll be talking about self-reflection, right? And so I went off and I found this video, man, and I was like, man, I was super inspired by this woman's story. She started telling her story and she asked this real question: who am I? And I think a lot of us go our whole life never knowing who we are. We identify ourselves with our name, how old we are, whatever it is. It's very loosely said who am I? And who am I is a real question that sometimes we never stop, pause, and ask ourselves to even begin to start self-reflecting to see exactly who we are and what we are meant to be. So I'm gonna play this video, and then like we do all the time, we chime in, all right?
Who do you think you are? Was the question my therapist posed to my 22-year-old self. Immediately, I activated my inner city Philly girl face and almost said, "Who are you talking to?" But before I could utter the word, she interrupted and said, "Pause for a moment. Think about it and take your time and answer the question. Yeah, who do you think you are?" I felt a burning sensation all through my body. My hands began to shake. I could feel the swelling in my throat, and I couldn't hold back the tears. I don't know. I don't know. Because honestly, I indeed did not know. The world had told me lies of who I was and who I was to be. They decided that I would be a statistic, a product of my environment, the angry Black female with unresolved trauma. The tears continued to fall. My therapist gave me a tissue in one hand and a blank journal in the other with these instructions. Over the next 7 days, I want for you to first write how you felt in this moment, in this session. Every emotion that has come up, I want for you to write it down. Secondly, I want for you to take a few days, pause, dig deep, and answer the question, who do you think you are? I left that session angry that I allowed someone to see me cry that I did not know, confused and determined. I was determined to never allow myself to not be able to answer a question about me. I was determined that I would no longer identify with what the world said I should be. I was determined to unlearn, to unleash, and to become who I was destined to be.
All right, cool. So as we all get a chance, we looked at this video and get to hear it. Somebody go ahead and say what is it that you guys got out of it?
I like this one. I like this video. It's definitely one to make you have to look at yourself. I definitely felt that going through some things last year. It's like all my time and energy was on a go or with my kids, and that was just me. And I'm relearning who I am, what I like, what I don't like. So it's definitely a transition, but every day I feel I'm different. I'm learning something new. I'm not the same person, and that's okay. It can be scary at times, but it's okay. So I definitely want to find that video and watch the entire thing. Very curious.
So I tell you what, this is what I do. We're actually going to go back to that video, but I also will share this video in the chat. So if anybody want to be able to get the video, I can share it to you. Anybody else that has some thoughts?
Yeah, I had some thoughts, bro. Thinking about how, can y'all hear me good?
Yep.
Yeah, just thinking about like, damn, who am I? Am I LaFair? Am I supposed to be doing the things that I'm doing? It made me think as well, but it made me think back to when I was thinking like this when I was younger, and I had this thought before, and I had to make myself who I am. But I understand the transition of life, so since I understand that, it'd be like a little bit more guided for me, you know?
Yeah, for sure. I know exactly what you mean. And I think that's, you know what I mean? It all comes with what you just said. The key word is like, it come along with life. As you grow, you start learning more about yourself, and you start being able to figure it out and be like, man, you know, and I think that's self-reflection when you're able to look at yourself and be like, man, you know what, maybe I was tripping then, or maybe I was out of line then, and you know, and to be able to learn how to be able to love people where they at and not where you want them to be.
That part.
I like that one.
And so, you know, and that because that comes with self-reflection, you know what I'm saying? Because I remember thinking about some of the people that used to tell me game, and I used to be like, man, I ain't trying to hear that. And then I remember, then I look back at it and I'll be like, man, the same game they was giving me, I was trying to get at somebody else. It's like, you know what? When a person is ready for something to self-reflect, they're going to self-reflect because something happens to a person to make them self-reflect, or they never get asked that question, who are they?
Mm-hmm.
So anybody else want to chime in before I go on?
Yeah, I do. It was good that she met with that therapist because she was placed in an environment that told her who she was before she even got a chance to figure it out. They placed it on her already. And in that moment, she realized that because of that therapist gave her the opportunity and put it at the forefront of her to ask her that.
Yeah.
So that was really great.
I think, and just to go back off of what you're saying, you know, I think and that's just in environments that we grow up in, period, right? Because we even try to find ourselves inside of our families. And that's the hardest place to be able to try to find yourself within your family. That's why people have better relationships outside of their families than they do inside of their families, because it's hard. It's a fight within your family to even try to find yourself, because you are already being defined about who you are, what you are, and what they want you to be. And sometimes even stigmatizing, like, you know, like even, so I don't get caught up in calling people like my little this or my little or my younger or my this person, because I always look at them like they're an individual, right? And at any given moment, that person can teach me something. And if I put a cap on them and I put them as little or I put them as this, then sometimes I might not, the subconscious may not respect them as much as I possibly should. And so I try to value that person as being who they are based off of the blessing that they giving me, off the words that they give me, off the knowledge that they give me, because I've received knowledge from younger guys all the time What was that you put up on the screen? Something happened.
That was somebody's comment off Facebook. Do you want it to go back?
Go ahead, read it to it. Read it out so I could. Yep, read it out.
This is from one of our people on Facebook, from Tatiana. At this age, I understand that question is to be answered with intellect, self-reflection, and an explanation, not just the titles you have for yourself.
For real. That's real deal right there. You know what I'm saying? And you know, it comes along with wisdom. You know what I'm saying? It just comes along with wisdom. It comes along with the game. It's no cap on it. The thing of it is that if you always looking for knowledge, you're gonna always grow. And that's and being open. I think of being open to receive anything that's coming and learning that everything is all good, right? So check this out. We get ready to play the rest of that video because I want y'all to, you know what I'm saying, see exactly how powerful it ended up being.
That day started my journey of self-reflection and emotional wellness. 20 years ago, I can stand here today saying that I love me, that I know who I am, and I know who I think I am. I think I'm smart. I think I'm brilliant. I'm a tad bit sassy, somewhat bossy, but I own my space. That session, that experience changed the trajectory of my life and introduced me to my life's work of cultivating people across the world to become the best version of themselves. Not for any other reason, but because they deserve to be. Equity says that we all should be treated fairly. For some of us, we come out the womb not being treated fairly. And because of what society says, we believe it. So I am on a journey to help people rediscover who they truly are, not what others have deemed they should be. Self-reflection has been the catalyst for my success, and I am able to look at others with a different lens, not from a bias, not from what others say, but from my heart, because I did the work to see people in a new way. Self-reflection is about introspect. It's about us taking an opportunity to look at our values, our beliefs, our emotions, our thoughts, and what motivates us. Reflection allows us to see ourselves in a greater way and have greater awareness. I wish I could say that self-reflection was easy, or that that journey that I embarked on was easy. It wasn't. And today, with so much fast-paced things going on in the world, and every minute of our calendar being full, and we're moving from place to place and event to event and experience to experience, it is hard to pause. But you have to be intentional with taking time to reflect. These past 18 months have been hard for all of us, individually, collectively, as a society, and as a world. We've experienced uncertainty, civil unrest, grief, loss, anxiety, depression. And as we are excited and eager to move to our next normal, I implore you to pause and think about who you've become after these 18 months. Have you asked yourself the question, who am I after I've experienced this? How well am I? Do I have the emotional capacity and strength to move forward? Because emotional wellness is about acknowledging and being aware of our emotions and managing the relationship we have with them, not allowing the emotion to dictate what you do. Emotions last between 60 and 90 seconds. After that, it becomes a thought, then a behavior. It's our physical response in our body to what's going on in the outside world. Emotions are data, but not directives. Are you listening to your emotions and doing what they say, or are you managing them?
I mean, I could have played that one all the way through. I was going like, because she was going. Any response?
I'm gonna say this. When I was watching it, I could tell that she had to do like a lot of unraveling to even to figure out who she was. The unraveling that was like placed on her with society and being in the same environment with the same people that also had the same things placed on them, telling them who they are. She was able to dig in and figure it out for herself. That's it.
Anybody else?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, a lot of people don't really realize that the why is very important. And I can personally say that's something, I guess, since a child that I've always been taught, but always moved like, rather than seeing what someone's presenting or like a behavior, for example, like you were saying, behaviors are communication. So it's not necessarily what the person's doing or how they're reacting, but why are they reacting that way? What's going on? And so I think that's just very huge, and I mean, the why is a place to start, honestly.
Most definitely. Most definitely. Because you know what the problem, the thing about it is once it goes back to what Shireen said and going what you said is the unraveling, right? And when you don't realize when you unraveling, what you really are unraveling is that inner child. And it's the person that really needs to be healed because that's the person who never gets healed from the trauma that ultimately caused you down this snowball effect of protecting your feelings of what you think to the world looks tough, but in reality all it is that you're very emotional and you're trying to protect that kid that's inside of you the most freest person in the world can be able to listen to a person tell them how they're nothing, they're this and they're this, and they can actually just sit there and say, okay, I'll talk to you later and go about their business. That's the person who has dealt with their emotional traumas. The people who have the most built up about how a person feels about them or how a person perceives them or how a person takes them is the person who needs to do a lot more inner reflection. And I that's me talking, and I can only say that for myself off of base of the fact that when I was super angry, it was just holding all this extra stuff inside or what I felt like people should see me as or what they didn't see me as, you know what I mean? And so anybody else want to be able to comment on that video? All right. So we good? We good? Everybody solid? Cool. Do y'all want to see the end of that video? Let's check this out then. Let me go ahead and play this.
That's what emotional wellness is. And as we continue to move forward and go back to work in our everyday lives, have you taken time to rediscover you? every part of you, what's changed, what's new, how you came out different, and who you decide to show up as. In order for you to serve anyone, to see others, you have to see your own biases that you bring to the table. Emotions are like biases. They're not good or bad. They just come to let you know what's going on in the inside. And as you go out and show up in your world, in your space, making it better, making it greater, don't forget to take a moment to rediscover you. Thank you.
I love that. Love that.
All right, cool. Well, with that being said, man, I couldn't have said it no better, ended it no better, man. I appreciate y'all time all the time. You know what I mean? Thank y'all for y'all thoughts, because at the end of the day, man, the reality of this is that we all need to be able to help heal each other. We need each other, you know what I'm saying? No matter what, how we think we don't. I need everybody that's on this line. I need everybody who's looking. I appreciate y'all time, appreciate y'all being here. And we all just here to be able to know. So know and grow. So, you know what I'm saying? Let's build community. If y'all know anybody, share these Sundays with us. We won't be back next Sunday, but we'll be back the Sunday after that. And so we'll be back on. Like I said, also we could be able to start being able to open it up. If anybody want to be able to lead the chats, let me know. Text me, hit me up in the inbox, and let me know that you want to be able to do the next Sunday. You know what I mean? It's open for grabs. You know what I mean? With that being said, make sure you also checking us out on Wednesday nights on Just a Thought. We always in, we always live, you know what I mean? Just a Thought Wednesdays at 7:30. If you want to be a guest and share your inspiring story, let me know as well. I can be able to do that with you too. All right. With that being said, man, we out. Peace and blessings, blessings and peace. It's the boy Jarmel Reese in real life, not in fake life, because they just faking about their life. Peace, and we'll see you next week.
Peace.
Peace.
Blessings.
All praise, G.